Hi guys, so my name is Alex and I'll be teaching you today the topic of biofabrication. I'll get to that in just a moment. So to start out, we do a ton of drug testing today, and drug testing is definitely required in the life that we live today because we have so many new pharmaceutical drugs coming out and they have to be rigorously tested. And the way we do that is either on human trials or animal trials. And so it's mostly done with animal experimentation. And so I actually wanted to get some feedback from you guys. So what do you think, just raise your hand, what kind of animals do you think that they test on today? Yes, Thomas.
Chimps.
Chimps. Jared?
Rabbits.
Yeah, Chris?
Rats.
Rats. Yeah, Tim?
Ferrets.
Ferrets. Wow. Anybody else have one? Yeah, Kimball?
Zebra Daniel, fish.
What's that?
Fish.
Fish? Okay. Yeah, Chris again?
Dogs.
Dogs. All right, yeah, Sean?
Flies.
Flies? Okay. All right. So we come up with a nice list. It's a pretty good amount. I think there's 7 on there. There's actually a ton of animals that they test on, including like cows and goats and guinea pigs and dogs. Yeah, this is actually taken off a website where it shows all the different animals that are being tested on today. And so the FDA actually only allows a drug to be presented to the market if it can be proven that it is better than anything else that is out there. So to be able to prove that, there has to be a ton of testing done on a certain drug. And it takes on average of 12 years to actually develop it and get it to the market. And as you can imagine, over that 12-year period, millions and millions of animals are being tested on to achieve this. So how does that relate? Well, with biofabrication, we can actually create human tissue using a 3D printer. There are 5 major steps to this process, and if you look at that sheet in front of you, that says, I think it's print me baby one more time.
I get it.
All right, does somebody want to read the first step? How about Laura?
Okay. 1. Stem cells, or cells taken from a biopsy of a patient, are put into a growth medium to multiply and are used to form a bioink made of cell aggregates.
Right, so talking about that, after biopsy, and then you culture all the cells so that they replicate. All right, Laura, you want to popcorn somebody?
Sure.
The bioink is loaded into cartridges that consist of a syringe fitted with a long extrusion nozzle for printing.
Yeah, so as you can see, a lot of the 3D printers have those 4 right in front of you, those 4 cartridges, and they're all filled with that bioink. Right, so that hydrogel is really the glue that kind of keeps all those cells together so that you can just stack them on top of each other and make it thick. Nick, want popcorn?
The printed tissue is left to grow and mature, and the hydrogel is liquid.
Right, so when you get to the end, your final finished product, there's actually transplant tissue is actually very far into the future, but for the moment they're focusing on drug testing and stuff like that. All right, so I have a little video for y'all. After that, as you saw in that video, they were using those little small container things to test, put disease into those created tissues from a bioprinter, and then they were able to use that to test their drug to see if it worked or not. They insert tiny amounts of stem cells and a cell medium to make sure that it doesn't degrade it all. And they put it in a petri dish, and they actually put it upside down. So this is like your petri dish is upside down. The water droplets are just like that, and then so that gravity takes effect, and all the little cells collect at the bottom with like little dots, and then it becomes really concentrated right at the bottom, and that's what you use during this. So I just want to take a random poll here. Is anyone here an organ donor? On your license? All right, nice. Well, that's actually the problem with today, is that not enough people are organ donors. About, I think, less than 10% of the entire US population is an organ donor or volunteers to be an organ donor. And worldwide, about 18 people die every day who are waiting for an organ. So they're waiting for somebody to either give up their organ or somebody to die who is an organ donor, and then they can be. But creating these artificial organs can be revolutionary in this dilemma right now. If a problem can be solved just using like a printer and some cells. Developed this really revolutionary right now is they're developing organ tissues that are over 100 microns thick. To give you like a little estimate, one sheet of paper, just like at your desk, is 100 microns. A micron is, I think it's a 1/1,000,000th of a meter, so it's pretty small, not super big. They've actually implanted stuff into people, but only like skin grafts and other thin tissues like corneas and bladders. So there are definitely many disadvantages to this technology right now. It is extremely expensive. That little tray that you saw of all those stem cells costs over $2,000. So I want you guys to turn to your group. I want to know, what do you think? If this, the good outweighs the bad, or for whatever reason. So just take a few minutes and talk amongst yourselves. Alright, if I can get your guys' attention for a minute. So I want to know, what do you guys think? Is this good or is it bad? I want to see some opinions here. Yeah, Thomas?
I don't think it's good yet, because I don't think it's at the point where it could be useful. It still takes way too long to like grow. It's like too long and too complicated to grow the livers or whatever organs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's useful yet.
Yeah, Tim?
Yeah, it's also like way too expensive, so even if they were able to make a working organ right now, it would be like way too expensive to be feasible for most people.
It definitely holds some potential for especially drug testing as an alternative to animal testing.
Yeah, Sean?
So with that sugar template thing that video showed us, so they made the template and then put the cells on it, and then how did the sugar disappear again?
So they, so they had the little sugar template, and then when they put the cells over that, and the cells kind of solidified a little bit, and then they dissolved it in water, and then all the sugar, dissolves in water and it washes away, and it's left with this really cool matrix of little blood vessels to go through them. All right, let's actually go through this. All right, so one across, a unit of measuring the thickness of an organ slice. Who's got that one? Yeah, Nick. Micron. Good. All right, 3 across. The nickname of the substance used in 3D printers that is a mix of human cells and gel nutrients. So I got that one. Yeah.
Bio.
Yes, Bio Inc. And the last one, 4 down. The San Diego-based bioprinting company that is developing human livers. Got that, yeah, Abby. Organovo, yes. All right, well, that was my lesson, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it.